Let's take a look now at the paint tools inside of After Effects. You might have noticed a paintbrush right here in our tools. If I click on this paintbrush, we're given some paint tools, but of course you can always go to a paint workspace and receive those same tools and a focus on painting. So let me go ahead and just close this particular panel. So what do we have here? Well, first of all, you'll notice that we don't have the ability, even if we click on the paintbrush, to paint right away. That's because the paint needs to be in its own layer. So to achieve that, simply go down to your footage and double click on it one time. And now you have a layer that appears. So I'm going to close this frame so we can focus on that. You see the representation of my brush, and you see we have some tools here that correspond with how that brush works. So I can go ahead and choose a brush, from a hard brush to a soft brush. Softer brushes give you a little bit of fuzziness on the edges, so as I paint you see that there. I'll choose a hard brush, and you see the stroke has a very hard line. We can change the opacity of our paint simply by scrubbing. And notice how much the brush looks different from these two strokes here. The flow controls how much pigment comes out of the brush. So if I drop that down and I put my opacity back up, you see we have less paint. So it's almost like the opacity. We could put that back up again. We can change our color very easily by clicking on the swatch, change to whatever you need, and continue painting. Now, you can also control your brush yourself. So as you see here, I have a 13 pixel brush, but I can come down here to the diameter and slide to make this bigger. I can change the angle and the roundness as well. So I can make an ellipse and change the angle of that ellipse. And I paint. And I get that representation of what I've chosen. Now, for those of you who have a stylus, like a Wacom tablet, you can go ahead and change the way the pen works. For example, I have mine set on pen pressure. So if I press very lightly, I get a small brush, and I press harder, I get a thicker brush. And that is on the size. Likewise, I can do the same thing for the angle, the roundness, and the opacity. So I'll go ahead and turn pen pressure on for the opacity, and I will press very lightly. You notice a very, very light stroke, and it gets more opaque and thicker at the same time. A nice way to achieve a more painterly feel. So this is a look at how you can not only work with the preset brushes, but how you can take those presets and really manipulate them. You can even save the current brush as a new preset if you wish as well, and also delete them once you save them. So that is a quick look at the paint tools inside of After Effects.